I'm like, what changed today?
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Matt, I saw you looking at me again. You got something over there?
Yeah, another comment coming in from YouTube. Houseboat Billy says he's watching and wants a shout out too. Wants to let you know that he loves you guys and you're the best.
I love it. Houseboat Billy, thank you so much. That's great.
Awesome.
I love the name, number one. Number two, houseboating in the summer on Lake Powell and Lake Shasta were probably my two favorite summer vacations I have ever taken, and I cannot wait to do it again. So I love your name. That is awesome, and thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, and for everybody that's out there, you guys, drop us some comments. We want to see it. We want to hear it. If you're listening to us on Saturday morning, at 7 on radio, remember, you guys can watch us Wednesdays. We're live at 5, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, whichever you'd like to watch us on. And you can see us do this live, right? From the office and right from Mike's house and
from my kitchen.
Right. You can see us stumbling over our words, and this, we really are real people. I mean, my shirt today, you guys can see my shirt. It says Wine Listens. Very important. Very important shirt. Because I'm going to go home and pour a glass of wine, and it's going to listen.
Yes, absolutely.
She's the mortgage mom.
This is Debbie Marcoux, the mortgage mom. Are you a veteran and you don't own a home yet? Well, what are you waiting for? You can get into a house with 0 down payment. The VA is very lenient when it comes to your credit, and there's a very good chance that you could get into a home right now. Well, what do? You give me a call. Call Mom at 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND-4U. That's LEND and the number 4. You will get your appointment to talk with me one-on-one right over the phone. Let's see if we can get you and your family into a home this year.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call Mom.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. California NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Texas and Tennessee 184373. Arizona 0941504 and Nevada 57237.
Do you own your home? Have you considered what could happen to your home if something happened to you and your family had to go through the dreaded probate process? Hello, I am the estate planning mom, and my name is Krista Hermance. I am an estate planning attorney at Hermance Law. If you own your home and something happened to you, depending on how title is held, your family may have to go through probate court. Probate in California can take an average of 12 months to 2 years to complete. It is very expensive and public. A will, while it states how you want your stuff distributed, doesn't actually avoid probate. It just guarantees it. If you want to avoid probate, a trust might be your best option, and we can help you figure that out. We have offices in Ventura, Westlake Village, Santa Clarita, and work with clients virtually throughout California. For information, text WILL to 474747. Again, text WILL to 474747.
This attorney advertising is intended for general information only, not intended to be legal advice, nor does it create an attorney-client relationship. Attorneys at Hermance Law are licensed to practice law in California only. You should seek advice from a legal professional licensed in your state. Hermance Law is located in Ventura, California, and can be reached at 805-518-9633.
She's a mortgage mom.
All right, so we have covered some cash out questions. We've covered the fact that if you guys would rather talk to Heidi than me, which is so okay. Just kidding. I absolutely love talking to people. I cannot tell you how many times that I've actually had when I call and I say, this is Debbie with Mortgage Mom Radio. You're on my calendar to talk to you today. They go, oh my goodness. I really didn't think it was going to be you. And I said, hey, when I tell people it's going to be me, it's going to be me. So it's, every now and then I get really, really busy and I get a little bit behind, and it's like a doctor's office. If the call before went late, now look at that. We've got a hairless kitty in the Zoom. But if a call goes late, then that call makes the next call late. And so every now and then, Heidi will be the one that reaches out, or maybe Carrie reaches out, or maybe Larry. But the majority of the time, I'd say 95% of the phone calls that go out are from me. You are getting me personally. I am answering those questions for you. And it's my goal. It's what I want to do. It's why I built this show. It's why I've created a team around me to try. I do look Trust me, I do a lot of the loan stuff myself. I look at a lot of, the documents. I send out a lot of lists saying, I'm missing this or I have a question about that. I'm still doing that job with you as well. But if I didn't have Heidi doing the backside and putting the bow on it and getting it to underwriting, and, I didn't have, Matt taking the calls and running the calendar, and we didn't have Manny that was actually naming all of the documents and downloading the applications from the system, we would not run nearly as efficiently. But that allows me to give you my personal time and make sure that you're getting, all of the attention that you need when we do have that phone consultation. So I do want to make sure that you guys know that it really is with me, and we really do want you to call. We really do want you to watch live. Put your questions in the feed. We want you to get on my calendar. I want to talk with you one-on-one to make sure that you're getting everything that you need. You're in the right position. I've probably told 7 people this week already, do nothing. You're in great shape. There's no reason to move forward. I actually told one lady earlier this week that if I really wanted to and I was really desperate for a loan, that I could absolutely figure out a way to talk her into doing an application and starting a refinance. But that is not me. That is not how I work. I work very referral based. I want you, after the transaction is over, telling your friends, telling your family that it was great, it was awesome, you really enjoyed working with us. And I want those people that I say, no, there's nothing to do right now. I want them to go out and tell people, you know what, dude, she was a straight shooter. She really gave it to us the right way. She didn't, get me into something that I didn't need to do. That is really, really important to me. So, just know that we're here for you. We want to talk to you. I want you to get on my calendar if you have questions about whether you should or should not be doing a loan. But by all means, if you want Heidi, you guys can get her. All you got to do is say, we really want to talk to Heidi.
I think last week I ended up getting 2 calls by accident.
Yes.
And, it was great. We had a great conversation. One of them, I had the same conversation, just there was no benefit, right?
Right.
15 years into her 30-year loan.
No.
And so starting over, we could have gotten a better rate, but to start over, and she didn't want to increase her payment that much by going into a 15-year.
Right.
It made no sense. But we had a great conversation. She said how much she loves us, and it was wonderful. But she had another loan officer telling her how much she was going to save. And I'm like, but not by starting over.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you can't afford it, when you're that far into your loan, if you can't afford to go into a 15-year fix to keep staying on that same track and get it paid off, why would you start that over? I mean, we can look at, what is the total interest going to be that you're going to pay over the term of the loan, and, see if some of those things are benefit. But, it just, when you're far, that is the first question that I ask every single person that calls is, how many years into your mortgage are you right now? And I've really been working hard on trying to get people to look at 20 and 15-year loans. And that is actually something that I wanted to talk about. So it was awesome that this just kind of morphed its way into...
Perfect segment.
Perfect segment. 20 years and 15 years are amazing because you really are going to get that loan paid off faster. Interest rates right now are so low that when you go into a 20 or a 15, you very well may be able to keep your payment similar to what you're paying today. So if you're on a 30-year fix today and your interest rate is, 5%, 4.75%, which there are a ton of people that still have those rates, we could be looking at a 15-year or a 20-year at 3.25% or 2.99 or even 2.875, depending on the day that we catch the rate sheet, right?
Right.
And we might be able to keep the payment, if not the same, maybe you're a couple $100s more, maybe. And what I always try to tell people is, look, if your payment's a couple $100s more and you can afford that, the chances of you adding $200 to the mortgage that you have today are slim to none. And I am a perfect example of that. If I've got a certain payment, I make that payment. No matter how many times I tell myself I'm going to pay it off early, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to add more, I'm going to put this much extra per month. It never happens. The payment comes in, I make the payment. Or I'm very lazy and I like auto pay, because if I didn't do auto pay, I'd get nothing paid on time. It's the only way that I personally keep my credit report in good shape, right? So when you're on auto pay, they typically just set up the auto pay at the payment amount, and that's what happens. And I always keep thinking, I'm going to make an extra payment. And then I think, I can't remember that password. I can't remember how to get into that website, and I don't do it. But if I had set up a 20-year loan and my payment was a couple $100s more per month, I would absolutely be able to afford to do it, and I would set it up on the same auto pay, and I'm 10 years faster. or a 15. I'm 15 years faster. I mean, think about that. All of us right now, that are 40, 50, 60 years old, 15 years puts you in a position that you really might not have a mortgage payment one day.
Right.
That really would be really, really nice. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say you shouldn't pay your mortgage off, and everybody's got different. You've got Dave Ramsey that says don't do anything unless you can pay cash. And then there's the other ones that say don't pay the mortgage off because you really need to have the tax deduction and you should be leveraging your money and you should be going putting it somewhere else. You know what? I would really like to be able to have my mortgage paid off someday. That is just
me too. Me too.
I would love to buy other property. I would love to have investment properties. I'd like to have other people making the payments for me. Obviously, I'm not going to take all of my hard-earned cash and put it into an investment property if I've got a tenant that I can get to rent out and pay my mortgage payment for me and maybe a little extra. But I would love to not make a payment on the house that I reside in, at the point that I'm retired. So that has really been something that I've been trying really hard to talk to people about that have been calling me recently. This is a perfect opportunity right now with interest rates as low as they are to possibly be able to shorten up that term. And I think that is really the play right now. I think that's really the name of the game. If you can get into a 20-year or you can get into a 15-year and we can get you into a rate somewhere in the very low 3s, high 2s, I mean, the money's almost free, when we're talking about those kinds of interest rates. And, it just gives you an opportunity that you may not get down the road. I mean, we were in December of 2018, we were at interest rates of 5 3/4, 6%, and they went like that. I mean, they just moved so fast. And this opportunity may not come back around. So, if you've been thinking about should I refinance, shouldn't I refinance, I'm going to give you a couple of things to think about, which would give you the opportunity to determine whether you need to call and you need to get on my calendar to talk to me, or whether you need to put a question into the feed and get a conversation started. So, number one, if your interest rate is 4% or higher, you should absolutely be calling us. Period, end of story. Whether you've got a 30-year fixed, 20-year, 15-year, adjustable rate, if your interest rate is 4% or higher right now today, you need to be getting on the phone and we need to determine whether or not it's something you should do. There might be somebody that is 15 years into a 30-year fixed at 4 1/4 that we may say that's not worth it, don't do it today. But there's a very good chance if your rate is 4% or higher that it would be a very good opportunity for you to give us a call and talk to us, and we can probably save you money. But the goal would not be save you money. The goal would be, can we keep your payment the same, but can we shorten your term? Can we make it shorter? Other people don't realize that on a 30-year fix, I can set you up for 25 years. I can set you up for 27 years. I can set you up for 22 years. So we don't necessarily need to start you over completely. The name of the game is shorter the term, the better. What can you afford? What can you handle? So that would be one thing that I would be saying, get on the phone right now. Number two, do you have an FHA loan and do you pay mortgage insurance? Or do you have a conventional loan and do you pay mortgage insurance? If you can answer yes to those two questions, get on the phone and give us a call. Let's set up a time. Let's talk about what can we do. Can we get rid of that mortgage insurance? Values are up right now. There was just an article that came out yesterday or the day before that was talking about the property values from March. Believe it or not, they went up. April, they went up. Property values are very strong right now, and they're going to stay strong unless people start to lose their homes. Right now, the banks are working with the federal government. They're trying to do forbearances, which we're going to talk about too, because that's a big thing that's going on right now. Yes. But they're trying to do forbearances. They're trying to help save people, help keep people in their